As usual, I like to do different stuff on here. So, I do this video here, all the stuff that's going down with the NHL stuff, playoffs going down and everything like that, I'm going to take a little bit of an exit and we're going to do a little something different, meaning little rewind. Last year, I jumped on with all the hot takes going on with the NFL. And now that the free agency, the draft is over, and all the things are starting to slowly settle, we're so happy that Kansas City got beat in the Super Bowl, and most people who were. Last year, I did a video sometime around last year, some sort about what the best divisions were. Now that we figure out all the coaching moves, the drafts, the free agents, and everything, I remember doing that video, and this is about that time. Then I think we take a little exit off the NHL hockey content, and we get back into some takes from the NFL. I get out of this gear, and we're going to put something else on, and we're going to see who really is the best divisions as of this second that I do this video. You like all this stuff? Doesn't matter if it's the hockey content. There's that little thing up there called subscribe button. We just recently hit 200 subs. Let's keep this going. Hit that if you want to. It means a lot if you do so. Just if you just subscribed and just see all the hockey content, the NFL, the sports the hot takes that we do, food reviews. We're small. We're just still growing, and we're still here. To the laptop, where I'm going to get this off. We're going to put some gear on, and we're going to go to work. I'll see you there. And I am back in situated, ready to go. Might as well get some stuff to get myself situated because this is a football video. This is an NFL video, and I want to start shifting my gear over to basically where I want to be because we are going to do what we did before, and that is basically put ourselves in an NFL tier list of the best divisions in the league. As usual, we go through the wonderful world of the interweb. You can actually do this thing, find these things on Tier Maker. It's actually a pretty cool thing to do. You can even update and add your stuff that's in here. That's pretty awesome to do. And you know, we try to do some different things on here, and that's exactly what we're going to do. Now, I remember pretty much, I don't remember exactly all my details of what I did last year, but I remember some of the things that I remember. Like I put, after everything was going on, I even had the AFC West as one of the worst divisions in football just because there's somebody there named Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs dynasty who we now have to look at a little different. So when we look at things a little different now, especially it's basically a whole new chapter that you look at. For example, I mean, I don't want to really put anything out there immediately, but you know what? Let's just toy with it right now. Let's just go right now with the AFC East. Let's just put this into a little bit of perspective. I'm going to move these once I even start putting them in, or if I actually have an idea where they go. I'll just put these in the middle for now. You got Buffalo, Miami, the Jets, and the Patriots. Let's just be realistic. Buffalo will win that division by default. The Jets have a brand new regime. The Patriots have a brand new regime, and it very well might be a better Patriots team with new head coach and then you got and you add pieces like Drake May, and they just need a talent. They had almost $100 million in cap room. And then you got Miami, who had all those pieces on offense, but who knows how good Tua is going to be? And they're like a Jekyll and Hyde. You just don't know what Miami's going to come up with. You think they're going to do well, but they're not. And then Buffalo runs the division again, but they just have to get over that hump. Now there's always Kansas City ruining their hopes and dreams. So let's just do that. Now I want to continue on, and let's just go to the AFC South. I'm actually going to put this for now. I'm going to put it in the number 4. Put it number 4 because it seems like this division's going to be up for grabs. Right now, if you look at it on paper, Houston looks like it's going to take it because it seems like they're the most buttoned up. Well, they finally are now because years ago that was run by some. It was the ownership had like some weird thing and they just didn't know. Now they just don't know what they were doing. Now they got a GM that knows what they're doing, and they're getting CJ Stroud help. The defense is better, and Houston has an opportunity to win that division again. And then you get Tennessee, who gets Cam Ward. They are a mass rebuild with a second-year head coach. And then you get Indianapolis, which is interesting because you get Anthony Richardson and then you get Daniel Jones now doing backup. And they still have some pieces, and they just got that Tyler Warren tight end from Penn State, so that should help the offense. Defense is still in much of a youth movement. And then you get Jacksonville, who, if they didn't hit the injury bug, they would be probably formidable. And who knows how good Trevor Lawrence is going to be. Um, they could make some moves again. Who knows what Jacksonville is, and they're going to play probably in Orlando for 2 years while they get their new stadium, while they get their stadium rebuilt. Let's just stay in the AFC. I will do the North. Last year, I had the North at 2, or I think at 1. I think I had them at 1. Let me put them at 3 for now because I just think it's going to be run by Baltimore and Cincinnati. It's Lamar and it's Joe Burrow. Cleveland's got too many quarterbacks. They got to figure out who's going to be the quarterback. Like, who do you got? Flacco, Pickett. You drafted Dylan Gabriel, and you got Shador. Who cares about Deshaun Watson? The roster itself is not bad, but it's Cleveland. You just never know. And Pittsburgh, let's just not go there because they need to figure out who the quarterback's going to be, and let's just leave it at that. They never really fixed their offensive line either, so let's just leave it at that. Now, I can probably put, for now, the AFC West, and I'm going to put them at 2. And last year I had them at dead last because Kansas City was going to win the division anyway. Now it's going to be a little bit different that I have them at 2. I just think that division is going to be a little bit more competitive now. Denver's going to be on the rise with Bo Nix and Sean Payton, head coach. The Raiders, now Pete Carroll, head coach. You get that Ashton Jennings kid for running back, you're going to have a better offense. You went and got Geno Smith from Seattle. They now have a little bit of an identity, but I mean, you still got Brock Bowers at tight end. You've got some pieces. You got a left tackle. Your defense is not bad either. It's still a mass rebuild a little bit in a way, but they always compete in that division. And they competed against the Chiefs twice and almost beat them twice. So let's just leave the Raiders where they are. And I certainly think the Chargers, and I said it, I had an older video that nobody in LA cares about the Chargers. The Chargers now look like a Jim Harbaugh team. Went and got a good running back from Carolina. They're going to run first. Justin Herbert's not going to throw the ball 35, 40 times a game. That defense is now built, but this is now a Jim Harbaugh team that could very well win the division. And the reason I say they could win the division is I don't think Kansas City, regardless of how many things Kansas City does, whether it's referees or, let's just put it this way, they are not going to win 10, 11, one-possession games again. And if it is, something's wrong with the league. And you wonder why they fired 3 or 4 officials already in the offseason. I just don't think they're going to be as competitive. Yeah, sure, the wide receiver core is probably going to be back. I know they lost DeAndre Hopkins, but Hollywood Brown, I guess, I don't know if he's re-signed yet. I'm not sure. But Kansas City, there's some people saying they may hit wild card this year because the Chargers might be the team they may have to be worried about most. Let's leave that. And then let's just go into the NFC, where I'm actually going to put the NFC East. I'm going to put it near the bottom. Only reason I'm going to put it at the bottom is I think Philly's going to run away with it again because they just draft well and they ran well. No question about it. Washington and Philly are going to compete in that division. The Giants are going to be a little bit better, but they got to figure out the quarterback. They've got Russell Wilson and they drafted Jackson Dart. Who knows what's going to happen with the Giants? And the Cowboys, they didn't do much all offseason, but they made that trade to get George Pickens. So now Dak Prescott's got another weapon, but who's going to get the ball more? CeeDee Lamb or George Pickens? You deal with that. I'm going to leave that at 7 for now. Let me just go to the AFC North, and I'm going to tell you right now, for now, the AFC North, I'm going to put that at number 1. And you know what? Let's just do this real quick. I'm going to just put them and fill them in right now. I'm going to put the AFC West at 6. I'm going to put the NFC South at dead last. Let me just go to the NFC North. I think this is going to be the number 1. I think this is going to be the number 1 division in the league. I think all 4 teams are going to beat the pulp out of each other, and it is a much, much deeper offensive division now. Detroit is still going to be Detroit. When you lose two of your coordinators, both of them gone to head coaching jobs, and the one goes to the Bears. We'll see how far Detroit goes. And I just look at Green Bay. They're still going to be Green Bay. They still got weapons. They're still young and they're growing, and Jordan Love's only getting better. Um, Minnesota, I worry about because they're going to probably worry about JJ McCarthy as quarterback. Um, they have a bunch of good weapons in Minnesota. They won 14 games last year, but that was a Sam Darnold year, and Sam Darnold fell apart in the games that mattered the most, the ones at the end. So who knows where Minnesota is, and just where everybody is going to have their eyes on Chicago with Ben Johnson, who was the OC in Detroit, is now the head coach in Chicago, and he's going to help Caleb Williams and that offensive group. And they just went and got offensive linemen during free agency, made a couple big trades. The defense is actually above average. Chicago might be the eyeball you want to keep your eye on, but this division very well may be the best, even if Detroit wins the division again. I just think that's going to be so close. So let's just go down the line of what I really put together. Let's just do this. I have the NFC South. Everyone knows I'm a Falcons fan. I have them at 8 because I just think it's going to be a two team race. Um, I would pick Atlanta to win the division, but Tampa Bay just became a better team. They got that other wide receiver from Ohio State. So now Baker Mayfield's got 3 weapons to throw to if Chris Godwin comes back healthy. Mike Evans is still there. They've got a young running back. Offensive line's above average. If Michael Penix plays to his perspective and plays to what everybody believes he can play, I think Atlanta will win the wild card. I'm not going to have them win the division. I was the dork that gave them 13-4 in a video last year, and Kirk Cousins fell off a cliff. So let's just see what we got here. I'm going to try to enhance this as best as possible, and then we're going to shut the bar down. I got this NFC South at 8. I think I'm going to move the AFC East down to 7. I'm going to put the NFC East to 6. I think I'm going to move the AFC West South. This gets confusing. I'm going to move them to 5, and I think here's your top 4 divisions. And in fact, I'm going to move the AFC North down to 4, and I'm going to actually put the NFC West at 3 because I think that's going to be a very, very fire division because all those teams are going to be good. LA's the right now. I think I'm going to do another. I'm going to do another Super Bowl bubble down the road. But I think the Rams are in the Super Bowl bubble. They just became a little bit better. It's Matt Stafford. As long as he stays healthy, he's going to be a threat in that entire conference. Seattle will have Sam Darnold. We'll see how they do because that's a little bit the Seattle roster is really, really good, even though it's young and they draft well. San Francisco may take a step back, but they need to start getting younger, and nobody knows an issue with Brock Purdy. And Arizona had a great draft and got another weapon to help with Kyler Murray. And Arizona had a great draft, got defensive people. People laugh at Arizona. They compete every time in that division. There's no doubt about it. So I'm going to put them at 3, and I'm going to put the AFC West in 2, and I'm still gonna. This is going to be my run. We're going to run with the NFC North, where Chris Berman, the old school Chris Berman from ESPN, the NFC Norris division. I'm going to put that as the best division in football for this year. So I will have them. I will have the AFC. There's the AFC West. There's the NFC West, the AFC North. And then all of these divisions could very well be good. Could be fine. The AFC South could very well be a grab bag. Everybody else, I probably should put the AFC East last because people still think Buffalo's going to win that division by default. But who knows what'll happen with the Jets and the Patriots? That's going to be interesting to watch out of that entire thing because they all play each other tough. But Buffalo just needs to get past that next time. And who knows what'll happen with the NFC South because we just got where the Derek Carr's retiring, so the Saints are going to have 3 young quarterbacks to figure out who's going to be the next guy. And Carolina's only going to get better. They're just a young, up and coming team. And Atlanta did not have to get into a shootout with them in the last game of the regular season. So who knows what they have. They had a really good draft as well. I'm just going to leave this here and I'm going to shut the bar down. What is your favorite division? And what do you think? Because down the road, we're going to do a 2025 Super Bowl bubble. Probably be sometime the beginning of the summer because when the schedule comes out, We'll probably look into it. May do a couple schedules. I did a couple last year. But if you want your team schedule, throw a comment in, throw a shout out, and I'm going to shut the bar down and get out of here. And you guys can have yourself a great afternoon, evening, whatever you decide to do. There is that subscribe button. Please hit that if you want to see more anytime you want to have a chance to see any of these hot takes or anything. And we'll jump back onto the main highway of the hockey content. The bar is closed. Thanks for hanging out. Until then, the bar is closed as always. I will see you legends in the next one.